We are back with another episode of Trade Secrets, and today we've got two superstar businesses with us. I've got Shade to my right, and I've got Liam to my left. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on.
Hi,
How are you
welcome.
doing? Yeah, fantastic. Excellent. So that was a soft introduction. Why don't you tell us where you're from, what your business does, and then we'll go to Liam after.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm from the Surrey area. We're based in Camberley. Our workshop's over in Camberley. We operate within about 20-mile radius, but by the end of the year, we are aiming to be nationwide with the help of Joseph Valente. He's promised me he'd get me to 7 figures, and I will.
I'll give you the knowledge. You got to do the work, Shane. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what we do, we are in short, we build garden rooms. We build them as like a prefab version. So we come in, we do the sales, we design the sort of garden room that you're after. It's quite an in-depth process to get the design right. And then we come away, we pre-build it in our workshop, then we offer you over to the workshop so you can just double check you're happy with all the products that we're using and the materials that we're using. And then what we do, we'll send the ground team in, they'll put the ground screws in. Obviously we're an eco-friendly garden room, so we don't use concrete, and we don't use anything that's damaging to the environment. So the SIP panels that we use, we call them SIPs, they're actually cassettes. We actually use hemp now for our insulation, and we use metals rather than plastics. Big no in our game to plastics. So once we pre-built in the workshop, the ground team, when we're building it in our workshop, you have your ground team in, they'll be doing their bits, and then it sort of gets you ready for basically our tradesmen to come and put it back together. And then we deliver the garden room, and then we put it up, and within 10 days, we're in and we're out, and we're paid, and it is amazing.
Beautiful. So you're in the garden room game. And Liam, what do you do?
So I'm obviously Birch's Heating, and I'm a plumbing and heating company. We're now solely focusing on boiler installations.
Yep.
So anything.
And where are you based?
Cambridgeshire.
Cambridgeshire,
So from Cambridgeshire, and we do a 30-mile radius, so we're in Peterborough as well, and all them areas. And basically, like I say, we sort of start with the survey, we go out, we'll give you as much information as possible because we're big believers in education rather than just sort of trying to sell you something.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is make a educated decision rather than a rash decision, because we've found that what plumbers like to do is actually just confuse you, baffle you, and make you think that the person that confused you the most is the person that you're going to buy from. So we educate in that aspect. Bullshit baffles brains, exactly that. So what we do is we make sure that you get to make an educated decision, because I can't let you test drive my boiler.
Yeah.
What I can do is make sure that you actually have the ability to go, this is what I'm getting, this is how I'm getting it, and we're going to make a decision based on education.
Test drive your boiler. I like that line.
So
Liam, what was your biggest challenge as a trades? What's been your biggest challenge as a trades business owner?
getting off the tools, and I've now officially got off the tools. I've still got the scars to prove because I'm only about 3 weeks in, but we're moisturising.
They look like they're getting
softer. We're getting them bitch boy hands slowly but surely. But basically,
you'll be wearing a pink silk shirt like me soon.
Yeah, but basically, I found what I used to do is before I started, I've been self-employed for 10 years, and I was running around. I was a busy fool, and I was always trying to keep up.
Yeah.
And I sort of spent 10 years building a business, and then I met you.
Yeah.
And then I completely undone everything I did for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I made my phone stop ringing. I made 1,000 properties was given back. And then from there, I spent 3 months working on it and then became off the tools. I'm now able to go and know that while I'm sat here, someone else is fitting my boiler. I'm not running around. I can concentrate on systems and processes.
Smashed it. Well done,
and
mate.
go from there. So
great.
It's really
same
helped.
Question to you then, Shane.
Yeah.
What's been your biggest challenge as a business owner?
The biggest challenge is, system, having a system. I sort of know I knew the basics and the fundamentals of how to run a business, like the lead generation and the sales and the product and the products that we use and the system. It's just I didn't know what order to do it in. So I knew what we had to do, but it was like I was scrambled with it. And when I was doing it all myself, because you think that you want to have all the money, but it's not about the money. It's about making it flow in a system which you don't have to do. You obviously have to put your thought into it and your energy into it, but you haven't got to put the work into it.
No.
So it was knowing where to put the stepping stones to get to the final destination. That was my biggest problem. Cash flow was a problem, but I learned early on that you have to have a payment plan in place, which doesn't just keep the customer safe, but keeps the business safe as well, and obviously the trade safe. Because if you're not paying your guys on time, they're not going to want to work as hard as you need them to work. Because where we're so gross profit driven, they have to do it in a certain amount of time. That's how we managed to give them a sensible price for the garden rooms.
Yeah.
So the stepping stones to get to where I need to be in the right order, and having someone to call when there is a problem. That's what I like about you guys. Like we've got a group chat on the Trade Mastermind is your best friend in business. Your business partner, isn't it? Really,
100%.
So having someone to call, so you don't go to bed at night anymore thinking, what do I do? Like, put it on the group chat at 3 o'clock in the morning. You put it on the group chat. Someone's going to answer. It's that.
You're not waking up at 3.
I appreciate it a lot. It's good.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, that's great. And I think, one of the reasons for starting this up was because so many people want to grow, but knowing what move to make next is always the thing that holds us back, right?
Yeah,
is it marketing? Is it hiring? Is it getting better at accounting? Is it finding new customers? Doing more products and services, so trying to get a system.
Yeah, exactly.
Because before I was just throwing it out it, getting loads of jobs and then stopping the sales and the marketing just to focus on all the work I've got, when that's not running a business, that's just
being reactive to everything, getting a few jobs and then stopping. I used to do exactly the same.
And then you've got another month trying to get more leads.
Yeah, exactly.
That was what I learned very early on. Someone's got to be you have got to be getting jobs for the future and let someone else take over managing the jobs. If you're not doing that, you're never going to be successful.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
It's that stop start scenario.
Yeah,
I
and
had
then
that.
Still getting paid.
What was it? About a month ago, I decided I had 4 boilers before I got the tools. 4 boilers. I went and fitted them all in a week. I was chuffed with sell bits of it. Then I went back onto my system, found that I had 7 leads, called them all up. They were either been fitted, missed. So I missed out on 7 installs just by going and doing on the tools.
So what's been your biggest takeaway since you've joined the Trade Mastermind then?
Is understanding being off the tools is the most important part. Like you say, you've got to get off as quick as you can, but if you let it just lag on,
And how did you do it? Because obviously there's a lot of guys next door that are still on the tools and they aspirationally want to get off, but I'd say based on the mix from earlier, it was about 60-70%. So how did you actually get that? Did you just make a day and decide that that's the date?
When I sat up and I done my first masterclass, my second one, what I did is I turned and I said, do you know what? In 3 months, which was July, I will be off the tools. And I made sure everything, and I put so many things. My van is an absolute state. It doesn't even work out of it anymore. It'd be a nightmare too. So I tried to put as many things in my way to prevent me from being able to. And I just said, you know what? If I give my letting agencies back, I can't go back. It's just a quick text saying sorry. And then I was done. So and then from there, my phone doesn't ring. And I'm able to sort of just send out subbies, and I've got subbies now that are able to do it. And once you're off the tools, you realise you make more money by being off the tools because you can't sell your time for so long. The product, I can sell 6-7 products a day. That's a lot more than I'll ever make on the tools. So and that's the way I look at it now. And
Shade, what do you think your biggest result has been since you've joined up with us?
Well, basically back to this, I sort of knew the fundamentals of stuff, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know how to name. Do you know what I mean? So when you start realising, when you're a tradesman and you you trade your time for money, and then when you meet the mastermind, they tell you how to trade your money for time. So you start paying someone your time back, and then eventually you get to the stage where you're trading money for money, which is what I'm doing now. So I pay everyone. I pay for the marketing team. I pay for the fitters. So I step away, not really doing anything but offer my entrepreneurial and my energy and my passion. That's all I need to put into the company. So basically I pay people to do what I want to do to get to where I want to be, rather than trading my time for money or money for time. Does that make sense?
I thought he was going to say that he's going to sell me a garden room for my new house. So he gets his training for free and he's got a customer out of it with a Joseph Valente referral.
Exactly.
So what advice would you give to a tradesman that was in your position, looking to grow and doesn't know what to do next?
The first thing would be come and meet Paul and sort of go from there, really. Sort of see what you guys have got to offer.
Open your mind.
Open your mind, because like I say, it's one of those, it's a process that sounds scary. It's a process that sounds alien. It is alien because my dad was a plumber, my granddad was a plumber. And what happened was my dad went self-employed. My granddad said, don't do that. Be a man that is a yes man. My dad's is a plumber and self-employed, but he works till he's old and decrepit. I don't want to do that. I want to sort of move forwards and it's getting your mindset out of the generation that we've been taught. The second you get out of that, there's the second you can go, it's worth moving forward. Learn to run the business. Don't learn to be a plumber.
Fantastic. And final question for you, Shade. Where are we going to see you in 12 months' time?
12 months' time. So at the moment, we're only running in a 20-mile radius because I'm just testing the waters, really, testing the ability we've got, testing what we're learning from you guys, which is obviously coming together really well. But the plan is to go nationwide because there's no reason why we can't have what we have in our area in every area to cover nationwide and then potentially sell it as a kit on, say, like Amazon or, do you know what I mean? So rather than having to come through my lead, we can actually sell it as a product and then find fitters that will come to our academy, we will show them how to build and we just send them the kits. That's where we want to go.
Like it. Excellent. And where can they find you on social media?
So we've got Birch's Heating on Facebook and Instagram, and Birch's Heating on TikTok as well.
And same for you?
Yeah, well, so my personal brand is obviously Hand Cut Roof, which is all my TikTok stuff. But we've just released this eco-friendly garden room company. So that's Eco Garden Rooms _ Watch the show.
Beautiful. Thanks for listening, guys. And we'll be back with another episode very soon.